What if every experience, every hardship, every obstacle was given to you, not to break you, but to mold you and strengthen you? What if the center of your suffering was actually the key to ultimate health? And what if your own pain was meant to be the catalyst for your greatest purpose? Welcome to Buddha Belly Life, empowering purpose, mind to microbiome. Hey guys, welcome to the Buddha Belly Life podcast. And this month, the 4 sessions are a special bonus sessions all about building the ultimate wellness business or building a successful business in the realm of health and wellness. And while I will say this information will pertain to darn near any business that you can think of, but for right now, because wellness is my specialty, because that's what this podcast is really, directed around, that's who we're really going to be talking to. So we're talking about coaches, we're talking about practitioners, we're talking about anyone that is in the world of health and wellness and who has a dream to build something big and successful or replace their 9-to-5, do something for a living, make an impact on people, especially if you want to get paid to do it. These are going to be the sessions that you're going to want to listen to. So enjoy the next 4. They're going to drop 1 a week for the month of September 2021. And I'm excited to have you guys. So let's start this first one. So if you don't know, I'm Coach Britt. I am the founder of the Holistic Wellness Coaching Academy and the author of Buddha Belly, Mind, Body, Soul Approach to Health, starting with your gut, and the Buddha Belly gut restoration programs. So today we're going to start with talking about why to create your ultimate business or why you may want to do that. So a little bit about me is, one thing that I was able to do is I turned a passion for helping people into a business. I mean, isn't that what we really all would ultimately want? Seriously, I mean, is to do something that we really love, that really gives us fulfillment, that helps people and actually get a paycheck doing it. I know that's what everyone says, right? That's like I don't know, common jargon for people to peddle. Make money doing what you love, but it's unfortunate that we live in a world that doesn't really do that very often. We're like, what is success? Hey, if you go to school and you get this degree or you do that, then you will have achieved success. And somehow we forget to ask people what makes them happy. And we forget that this life is a short ride, shorter for some than for others, but it's really small in the grand scheme of things. And we should be spending it doing things that are impactful, things that make us feel good, things that help people, and, getting paid accordingly if we choose to get paid by doing it. So that's the why, right? So today we're going to really talk about creating a great product. We're going to talk about creative strategy in business design, like cultivating what you want to do or elaborating on what you already do. This is kind of my forte, is creative strategy. I'm an ideas girl. You'll see me with the coaches. I coach them personally, and I'll be just throwing out all kinds of crazy ideas. And even though we have, hundreds of coaches, all their businesses are a little bit unique to them, and they're different from each other, even though they specialize in gut health. And there's a reason for that, because your business is representative of you. It's representative of your story. It is representative of your ideal client, of your passions, of your personality. There's no reason to form yourself to attract certain things or people. You should attract the people that are already going to be attracted to you by doing the things that you are already good at and taking it up a notch. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So creative business design. So creative business design is really cultivating something creatively to get paid doing it, based on what you love, the life you want, the things you do well, and, where you're best suited. So what I like to tell people is start with what they love. Like, what do you love? If you could do anything, I like to ask them what they would do for free. If you could do anything for free, where do you find yourself in a grocery store interjecting, just, chomping at the bit to interject an opinion in someone's side conversation because you know so much about it and you just want to share it, from a good place? Where are you really passionate? Where would you volunteer for free? And I'm not saying that you have to make money doing everything that you love. There's plenty of space to do things from your heart and for free and volunteering your time. But where do you do that? Okay. Maybe you already tapped into that. For a lot of you guys, I know a lot of you guys are in the wellness field, so you've probably already tapped into or desiring to tap into something where you're helping people get healthier or rehabilitate or do things in the wellness arena. So you already have that why you want to do it. You already kind of got your gears turning. So we start with our love. You love people. You love helping people. You love whatever, right? The second part, this is a part that not a lot of people ask themselves. Especially in the entrepreneurship arena. And I'm a huge fan of entrepreneurship. I love business. I could just rally all day long in my business and I'd be very, very excited to do it. It would be a high to me. But I also very much love my kids and my family. And I understand that simplicity, that nature, that relationships, that dreams and peaceful time and things like that, quiet meditation, prayer, all that stuff is an integral, non-negotiable piece of life, especially for me, right? And so I have to sit there and say, I know that is a big piece of my life. I also know that group speaking in front of lots of people and empowering people and doing this and this podcast and putting into people and writing books and doing stuff and on coaching calls and leading masterminds, that those things fire my soul. And there's there's necessity in my life for that too. So to sit back, the second question that I like people to ask is really sit back and say, okay, you know what you love now, but what do you want your life to look like? And too often, I think we're said to set goals, of financial means, of the things we want, of what that looks like, traveling everywhere and working from a computer. That's great. And that's a great place to start. But what also do you want for your relationships? What kind of time do you want to put in your business? It is better to ask yourself that before you either execute your business for the first time or revisit it like a time like now. Like maybe you've already got something you're revisiting, you're going to revamp, you're going to attack it from another level. It's better to ask yourself now at the beginning than get there at the end and realize that you don't have time. Maybe now you're achieving your goals, but you don't have time. You don't have the components of your life that really mean a lot to you. And that I can't tell you how important it is. It is so important to ask yourself this now. Do you have a desire for fulfillment? Does helping people tap into their own health mentally, emotionally, and physically fire you up? Do you believe in the impact of the gut microbiome on overall wellness? You may be an HWCA coach. For more info on our cutting-edge health coach trainings, visit hwcacoach.com. How many hours a week do you want to work? I was really blessed when I started my business because I started it in a place where I was, I'd sold a brick and mortar business and I was a work from home mom. Basically, I was a stay at home mom, essentially deciding on my next venture, because I always needed to do something, but my kids, I didn't want to do daycare. My husband at the time worked and did all that. So I was home and I was very invested in my home and my children, but I still needed that piece for me. So I had to carve out small windows in any given week for that piece of my passion and of my needs. And where that behooved me was it allowed me to create a business in these small compartments. And as the years went on, I've been able to, not without flaw, I will say, but I've been able to try and maintain the integrity of that time so that I don't just go throw in, 80-hour work weeks and hustle, and then hope that it's going to get me to a place where then I get time back. Because time is the most precious commodity. I can't underscore it. Anybody who leads entrepreneurs and teaches business with real integrity should never, ever, ever sell their people short on the importance of time and of relationship and of the intangible that is not oriented to money, success, and achievement. Okay. That is, I'd say the most valuable asset we have is your health and your time. So, and a lot of us, and they say it all the time. How many people spend their entire lives trading their health and their time for money only to later have to turn around and use money to pay for their health issues and hopefully buy them more time? It's not worth it. It's not worth it to do that. So if you can do that in the beginning, that is the place to start. That is the place you want to begin, is what do you really want? What time do you really want with your life? What do you want to spend it doing? And next, you want to strategize a way to do it. So strategizing this is to say, okay, like I said, building these blocks and these components in where they fit now and growing them there. You're better to execute something consistently in a small window of time on a consistent basis than you are to jump around and put in god-awful hours in an inconsistent basis. When you feel like it, when you're motivated, burn yourself out. We won't get quality by just adding more hours. We need quality most of the time over quantity, but we do need consistency. So one of the biggest things that I love to tell the coaches and that I'll say to anybody is find a window, find the smallest place that you can put in your calendar each week, day, whatever it is, that is non-negotiable, that is there to invest in your next venture, in the growth of your business, in the business you are creating or whatever. But show up consistently, make it non-negotiable. If it's 1 hour a week, start with 1 hour a week. And if you can do more than that, then great, do it. But make sure that you always show up for that 1 hour, because that is a strategy that if you start now, it will pay off in the long run. It will pay dividends on what you invest because you build on it. So while it may be something you're training in now, maybe sitting down and creating something and learning something, it may be getting the data for a future venture or, to advance something you're already doing. But doing that consistently, eventually then it will be executing part of that process that you've spent time studying. And after that, it's going to be nurturing that business that you spent time studying. And if you show up for that window over and over and over, then what you do is once that starts becoming profitable or it starts growing, then you can start altering the windows. You can start shifting. That 1 hour can now take 5 hours off your work week, and that 1 hour can turn into 6 hours that then puts you in a whole nother place. And before you know it, that 1 hour could replace your 40-hour work week or max you out at 15 hours a week if that's what suits your soul, because it's done consistently. And that's how we grow. That's how we can grow. We always think instead of go big or go home, right? I say that all the time. I say I'm a go big or go home kind of person because I kind of am. But we have to remember what means the most to us. And if we can do this in a way where we build from kind of like if you were to put a mold, right, around something. So we put this special gate around everything that is precious to us. And that is our time, right? And that is the things, the people and the relationships and our self-care and our health. So we put this thing around it and we say, I will not break this mold. Now our job is to maximize what we build inside of it. We're going to be efficient. We're going to be intentional. We're just in the quality that you're going to get inside of that window you built will be more and more. And then you can consciously decide if you expand that window, because you know that by expanding that window, you are trading for time. Maybe you're lucky and you're trading for time in a business or in a job that you don't want to do anymore or that you're working your way out of. And that's great. That's a great way to trade. But start with your max. Start with knowing where you're willing to grow to. Start with knowing where the boundaries of that mold are that you're going to grow within, instead of this, which is the opposite of how most people do it. They run 150% and they start with a lot of ambition and then they burn out fast. They burn out relationships. They burn out their body. They burn out their mind. They burn out their creativity and innovation and their ability to do this because they run too hard without limits. And you'd rather maximize, I promise you, maximize that quality over quantity. Strategize your way and it will be so much better. You will not regret it in the long run. You will succeed more. You'll enjoy the process and you'll have something that really, really suits your life. Thank you guys for joining us on this one today. So this is part 1. Join us next week for part 2, where we're going to actually talk about building your business machine. That is the process from point A to point C, from, hey, you see me, to, hey, you're working with me, to, hey, you're getting paid for whatever it is that you're selling, that you're marketing, that your services. We're going to talk more about that. We're going to talk about the importance of those components. So thank you for joining us and we'll see you next week. Thank you for joining us for another empowering episode of Buddha Belly Life. For more information on gut health and mindset resources, visit buddhabellylife.com. And remember, heal yourself and then empower others to do the same.